Hello everyone, I hope all of you are having a great day today. I know that I am, and in the nature of school starting up this week, I wanted to share a more educational video regarding the different variables in the gym and what you can do to account for them. So I've created kind of a flow chart, and I'm going to be going over all these variables, and you'll see what I mean in a moment. So if this is what you want to achieve, if you want to achieve all of your goals in the gym, whatever they might be, then this are the two things that it's going to come down to. The first thing that we're going to talk about is everything you can do inside the gym. And this can be broken down into two things, into your actual training in the gym and then resting in the gym. Starting with training, a very important variable is the order of the exercises that you do. Some people, especially those who are beginners and not on a program, will just start doing whatever machine or exercise is free in the gym, or just do their favorite exercise first. While this isn't bad, there should be definitely more attention put towards what you do first in the gym, because this is what you're going to have the most energy doing, and this is what you're going to be the strongest with. So you want to properly manage fatigue as well with your first exercise and not completely tire yourself out. Leave a lot of room in the tank for the other exercises that you have coming up. Next, we have exercise selection. So this is probably even more important. It's basically just choosing the exercises that are designed best for your goal. So if you're a power lifter, you should not be doing pull-ups. And if you're a calisthenics athlete, you should probably not be doing barbell bench press. I'd actually switch those two for that example. But yeah, it all just comes down to picking what is best aligned for your own goals. After that, we have programming, which is very, very slept on. This is definitely holding lots of individuals back, myself included. I've been in the gym training for over 3 years, and I only have about 13 weeks logged on an actual program. Even that program was a beginner program, not really aligned with exactly what I want to achieve. So that's something I'm currently working on myself, and I can admit to that. So yeah, if you can, I would definitely recommend looking online for any kind of program. A free one is fine, but one that aligns with what you want to do. So do a bodybuilding program, powerlifting program, calisthenics program, weightlifting program, or you could do like a hybrid sort of program, something like that. The final one is load management, and this is also extremely important as well. This is just making sure you're adequately adjusting working loads in two different ways. The first way is you're actually increasing load over time, in reference to how strong you're getting week over week. So, not just doing the same weight you were doing 2 weeks ago, a month ago, 2 months ago, also doing proper deload sessions when required. And then there's overloading. So you don't want to be doing too much over what you're capable of in, reference of actually injuring yourself. Next, we go into what you're doing in the gym when you're not actually training. So we have resting. This can be broken down to rest time in between sets, rest time outside of sets, and then stretching and warming up before you do your exercises. So rest time in sets, you should always set a minimum of about 2 minutes between sets, and usually no more than 5 minutes. Even if you feel that you're fully rested, after about 30 seconds to a minute, you should most definitely wait. Ignore that feeling that you feel like you can go right away. That probably just means you actually haven't been training hard enough. If your set was completed quickly and you want to get into the next set after 30 seconds, you probably need to adjust the load or some other way to increase the intensity of that set. Next, there's the rest time outside of sets. So this is just switching from exercise 1 to exercise 2. You're in the gym for a reason, and I am a victim of this as well. I'll spend like 10 minutes talking to people in the gym about random things, or I'll just lose focus and not really be aware of the time that's passing in between going from exercise to exercise. Obviously you're allowed to have fun in the gym, but remember to be mindful of the time and dial in mentally for the next exercise that you're going to be doing. Finally, for inside the gym and resting, we have stretching and warming up. So stretching and warming up is extremely neglected by a lot of people. I've actually been thinking about making another video talking about the stretches I do for certain days in the gym. So what I would do for a push day, a pull day, a leg day, what kind of stretches I do. So stretching is extremely important. Before any exercise, you should develop some sort of routine to accelerate your heart rate and increase blood flow. That way you just prevent any injuries, your joints and muscles are ready to perform, and you're just ready to get into things. So now moving into what I think is even more important than all these things, all these variables of inside the gym. These are probably the main reasons why you aren't seeing progress over time, and these are everything that are outside of the gym. So first we have your nutrition, then lifestyle, and finally recovery. Going over nutrition, I'll first talk about macronutrients, and I'll move over to this slide over here. And I have a nice little graphic here. So there are actually 4 macronutrients: proteins, fats, carbs, and alcohols. 3 of them are essential to your health, and then there's alcohol. That's absolutely mandatory. Just kidding. But yeah, a lot of people have the if it fits your macros mentality or approach when it comes to nutrition. And some of them think they need to hit just a certain protein threshold, and then after that, everything goes and they're perfectly fine. That's not the case whatsoever. Carbs and fats are extremely important. Carbs for energy and fats for about hormone regulation. Alcohols are completely useless and they're poisonous to you. But yeah, you need to make sure you're getting all of your macronutrients in abundance by eating nutritionally dense food. So next we have micronutrients, and these are about equally as important as macronutrients, and they're definitely more neglected. So again, going back over here, we have this nice little graphs over here going over different micronutrients. So micronutrients can be broken down into 2 things. There's vitamins and there's minerals. So with vitamins, you have vitamin C, vitamin B, vitamin A, D, E, K, and then a bunch of the B vitamins. There's riboflavin, thiamine, biotin, folate, etc. And then minerals, we have the major minerals and then we have trace minerals. The major ones being sodium, potassium, chloride, calcium, phosphorus, magnesium, sulfur, and then the trace ones, iron, zinc, copper, All of them are extremely important, and even though there's a lot of them, this can seem pretty overwhelming. If you eat a well-rounded or even somewhat balanced diet, it's pretty easy to accomplish getting your recommended daily amount of all of these vitamins and minerals. If not, don't worry, because we have supplementation. So this is something that I do and everyone else probably does in some way. They might not know, but any kind of multivitamin, protein powder, anything like that is supplementation that is beneficial towards your nutrition. Very, very simple and easy to hit your goals if you have any kind of supplementation protocol in place. Also, I'd recommend creatine for anyone who's not taking it. There are no negative side effects as long as you drink enough water. Speaking of water, we can parlay right into hydration. So hydration is extremely important. I could put this actually inside the gym because hydration in the gym is when it's most important. Very, very simple as well. Drink 3 to 5 liters of water per day, not 3 to 5 liters of liquid water. You want to be having 3 to 5 liters of water per day no matter what. Also, be making sure when you're hydrating that you're accounting for your sweat. So water, plain water, does not really have any other minerals in it. It does not have sodium, potassium, chloride, calcium, etc. So if you're training for a long duration of time, you may lose a lot of sodium or any of these other major minerals in your sweat. So make sure you're having some kind of drink or anything of that sort that is replenishing these minerals that you're losing when you're sweating in the gym. Next is food quality, and this is probably the least important variable of nutrition, but still very important. So you don't need to be eating organic, gourmet, pasture-raised, grass-fed, halal, Montana bison meat to be healthy. You can really just eat about anything. Any kind of whole foods are good. Obviously, whole foods are better than processed foods. Eating at home foods that are cooked are better than eating at a fast food restaurant or having takeout. Pretty simple, explanatory stuff. I don't need to go over food quality that much, but people don't understand how much food quality can affect so many other variables. As we see here, food quality affects your gut microbiome. So I'm not at all going to pretend like I'm knowledgeable enough to explain your gut microbiome and everything that involves and how many different things that affects. There's this nice explanation here, healthline.com. How does your gut microbiome impact your overall health? So I'd recommend doing your own research, learning about all the different things that your gut microbiome affects. Affects your brain, immune system, digestion, affects your weight. It does a lot. It's very, very important. Next is lifestyle, and people forget to realize that your lifestyle will play a very big part in the progress you can make in the gym. Obviously, there's scheduling and being busy and other responsibilities in life that go into it. That's a given. But things like stress really, really would affect your performance and results in the gym. Our mental and physical health are more aligned than most people tend to realize. So having a more stress-induced life will make a lot of effects on the possible gains you can make in the gym. This is also linked to gut microbiome health, like I just talked about. This really affects your brain and stress. So poor quality in food will also affect your mental and your stress. And I'll talk about how it links to sleep in a second when I talk about recovery. So moving on to recovery, this is also a very, very neglected variable. I'd say this is probably the most neglected variables from outside the gym. We have sleep, napping, and stretching. So for sleep, I break this down into sleep quality and sleep time. Sleep quality will be affected by a lot of things and is directly related to stress. That's why I have this kind of connecting arrow line here. The quality of your sleep is as important as duration. Investing in something like a good mattress, a good pillow, and really changing the ambiance of the room that you sleep in will greatly affect the quality of your sleep. Something like having a dark room that's cold, not being on a screen for 3 hours before bed, all of those things will directly benefit you and your quality of sleep. This all, again, also benefits just quality of life, having a good night's sleep. Sleep time as well is also extremely important. There's actually a stat by the Center for Disease Control and Prevention that 1 out of 3 Americans report having inadequate sleep. Sleeping is extremely, extremely important. Some people think they can get away with 5 to 6 hours of sleep. Every time someone tells me that, I tell them that's bogus. Like, that's terrible for you. You're probably cutting off valuable years off your life. So how much sleep is enough? I'd recommend about 7.5 to 9 hours of sleep. I'm not a doctor, but that's just between 5 to 6 REM cycles. So what is one REM cycle? This entire thing is one REM cycle, and this entire thing takes about 90 minutes. So 7.5 hours of sleep, 5 of these. 9 hours of sleep, 6 of these, which is good. Don't need to do much more than that. Next is napping, and napping isn't something just for babies. If you have the time, I would greatly recommend trying napping. It's very, very good just to, refresh yourself if you are having a busy sort of day. Try not to overnap. Don't nap for more than 90 minutes. I have another beautiful graph actually on napping and how long to nap. So this is a good graph, not great. It makes it seem like if you sleep for 30 minutes, then everything is terrible. But anywhere from 10 to 20 and then 60 to 90 is good. I'd just recommend set a timer for an hour, wake up. That's all it is. Finally, we have stretching. And yes, I know stretching was on the inside the gym part as well. But stretching and being flexible is something we take for granted because we're young. As you age, you will not be as flexible as you used to be. So stretching is a way to circumvent this and to prevent injury in general. Something as simple as doing 5 to 10 minutes of yoga per day, even doing 1 yoga session a week is good enough. Just make sure you're doing certain movements that you would be doing in the gym otherwise. That is pretty much all the variables that I consider pretty important that people may be neglecting and that could be inhibiting their gym progress. Let me know if you guys like these kinds of educational videos and if there's any variables that you want me to touch up on or clarify. And yeah, thanks everyone for watching the video.